my Lego Banshee from the movie Avatar, one of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah, I know. It's cool to hate on Avatar now, but I like the movie. I've been to the land at Disney World, and I got the 1 in 200 limited edition anniversary print, so I'm a bit of a fan. And the other day I said to myself, wouldn't it be cool to make an Avatar Banshee in Lego? And then that was immediately followed by, now let's do it now. And I did. And the fruits of that labor is right here, which it was a bit of a feat. Like, you wouldn't believe it from looking at this, but it actually took quite a lot of like thinking to figure out how to do this right, because not only did it have to have an outwards wing and be able to look decent like that, but also had to fold up because the wings are also the arms in both the front and the back. So I had to kind of make it so it would also angle downward to be positioned on the ground, and would also be able to fly in the air, which was a bit challenging. I looked online, but I'm not kidding. I've scoured the internet. I found nothing of use, nothing like of this scale, of minifigure scale, that was able to like do the things that I wanted to. So I had to kind of go rogue here, and I honestly think it came out pretty dang well. But enough of me talking. Let's get into the review. The typical like, oh, I'll show you the front view, I'll show you the top view, probably won't work for this one because it's kind of ginormous. Like, this is a minifigure next to it. So I'm just going to show you body part by body part and try to string along a coherent look that way. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I started this build with the head and literally nothing else. So what ended up happening is I wanted a head that looked great, looked smooth enough, was only 1 stud long or 1 stud wide, and also had the crimson chin over there, and then it had the sloped back head like it does in the movie, and then having like the tendrils poke out. And for the tendrils, I just used the long hook or the long horns, and that came out pretty dang well, I think. And then just for the crimson chin, I ended up just inverting a clip piece to create the chin, and then just for the head, I ended up literally just building it like that. And then what I ended up doing afterwards was literally just putting, it fell, but just putting this across there that way to make room and make it look more angular like it is in the movie, and also to cover up that. And then of course these were literally just put on the inside like that, which I can't do right now because I have one hand. Alright, next thing, we're going a little bit out of order here. It was the tail, because I started with the head and the tail because those would be the easiest, and I would work on the body because I knew that was going to be hard. So I wanted a tail with articulation that looked good, but also was able to, move up and down and, left and right and all that stuff. And to do that, I just used these ball joint pieces, but I covered them up both on the bottom with blue plates and the top with blue plates, and then the tiles, trying to create more of a smooth hinged look. And then of course moved on to the tail fin over here with the same level tile, so it kind of just meshed right in. And then if you hook them all together, it creates one just smooth, coherent tail when it's in flight, which is my goal. So I accomplished that pretty dang well. And now let's get on to the body, which was the hardest thing ever. This is the Banshee as if it was flying. I'll give a more like long view later, but I just wanted it in depth here so I could actually use the camera stand and show you guys how it's actually made. So I started off with just deciding how long this middle part was going to be that everything was going to hook into. And once I did that, I had to start designing the front wings right here, which were a bit of a pain. I needed something that looked fine like this and didn't have anything exposed, but also was able to, again, turn from the wing piece into it perched on the ground like you see there, and be able to like move it up and down to be able to perch it in various stances. So I ended up coming up with this. This isn't perfect, like this part definitely has some pieces exposed, but it definitely is better than anything else that I could come up with or anything that I've seen, because it enables just a very smooth look down there. When also these pieces are a bit of an overhang from the hinge joints. You can see it's 1 stud overhang, so that way when it comes up, it'll just come in contact clean with the end of the middle piece. And then once I had that down and I had all the talons set, I had to work on the back pieces, which on the actual Banshee itself, these have a bit of an overhang like here, so I seamlessly did that. That's one thing that I'm actually pretty proud of with this design, is making that pretty fit seamlessly in. And it only has, it's 1 stud below, so it kind of just snaps right into place, with it still being able to perch because you can move it that way, with the fin or the talon down there, which is what I want to get into next. On the other side, there are talons down here that also position. That's like a bit of, I think, rust. Not rust, but like just ignore it. And then they just perch like that. And then these are able to come down as well to to be able to be posed in addition to the front pieces. And then of course right here is just this little tiny like bump it has, like the Banshees have these bumps on the front, sorry. And I just wanted to put that there. It's not too much, but it does add a little bit of extra detail instead of having just this really flat piece and not looking that great. It does add a little bit of texture to the bottom, and it doesn't interfere with it being perched, because when it's perched it goes upright. Which brings me to the final point right here. This is the back piece, which is one of the more like parts of it. Same with this, but just because the only reason that this is exposed and has studs is because I need it to be able to go like this when it's perched like that. Okay, and here it is as if it was flying through the air, and I have to say, I'm being genuine here, I really do enjoy this Moc. I think it came out really well. I didn't think I'd actually be able to make an Avatar Banshee, and it's one of the few creatures in fantasy or any movie that I'm fond of. Like, I don't usually attach myself to creatures other than like whatever the name of the dog was in Marley and Me. I just like the design. The designs of the Avatar universe were incredibly clever, you cannot deny, and that's the facts. So that's just the flight mode, and let's get into the final verdict. So in final conclusions here, everything wrapped up, I honestly really do enjoy this Moc. I do not enjoy most things that I make. I usually find ways to improve them later, but this I genuinely enjoy, and I know I'm going to improve it later, but even the rough draft, I really do enjoy it. Because I like Avatar, I like this creature, and to be able to make it in Lego is pretty dang cool to me. So this one's going to be rather long, I already know that, so hopefully you guys can bear with me. Usually my video is like 3 minutes, this one's probably going to be longer, so brace yourself for that. But if anybody stuck to the end, thank you, and this has been my Lego Avatar Banshee.